Today we are in Daybreak, walking a path along a gorgeous man-made lake that is just chocked full of winter duck species we get in Utah. It's going to be a really fun adventure. Come along with me on this awesome day of birding. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have another exciting birding adventure today. We're here at Oquirrh Lake in Daybreak. I am nearly positive this is completely man-made. They might have started from an initial lake here, but there's houses that flank this lake, and I think it's a really cool way to show how people can live alongside nature, and I'm excited to explore it today. So we have this lake with a 3-mile loop around the whole thing with tons of birds here. So yeah, we're gonna walk the trails around the lake, and it should be a good adventure finding some cool birds. The first bird of the way, kind of half sleeping but watching warily up at us, was a gorgeous ring-necked duck. A lot of the birds out in the water will be in this tucked away position as they kind of rest throughout the day, but a bunch of them we see will be foraging and actively looking for food, so we're going to get a great variety. There'll certainly be some common species like these mallards and Canada geese you see in front of me, but there's going to be some really awesome stuff too. There was a redhead out in the water, and as the male dove down, the female popped up right in front of it. Even the common species are gorgeous though. This female mallard was scratching itself away. It's really cool at these city parks how close you're able to get to these birds without disturbing them, offering the chance for some really great footage. But we walked along this beautiful lake and watched all of the birds as we went. Now this bird, the American coot, was by far the most plentiful we saw throughout the day. I think I estimated about 350 throughout the entirety of the day. We weirdly didn't see a ton of gulls. This group initially that we came across was probably the biggest and the most we saw. Most of these were California gull, at least most of the ones on the day. Even that juvenile I do think might be a California gull as well. They weren't only in the water, however, they were also flying all around. It was kind of cool to try and get some footage of them in ultra slow-mo just to see some of those flight patterns as they maneuver around the area. And although the California gull were the most numerous, there were a couple ring-billed gull too, just like all 4 of these birds out on the dock here. They have some variation amongst them, but each of these you're looking at are indeed ring-billed gull. One challenge I was taking on throughout the day was to try and find a greater scaup. This one I thought might have been, but then I saw its peaked head and I'm pretty positive it's a lesser scaup. Greater scaup are a lot rarer in Utah, and it would have been a cool bird to find, and it would have actually flagged the rare bird alert on eBird if I was able to come across one. But first, we're going to have to find some more interesting birds amongst these huge hordes of coot. With all the ducks around, it was hard to take your eyes away from the water, but every once in a while I glanced in the tree, and we got some American robins to add to our day list. But looking back at the water now, this is one of my all-time favorite duck species, at least in Utah, that is. I really like common goldeneye. I don't know what it is about them, but their eye is just so striking, and I just love just how they look. Now, out of all the birds in the water, I'm pretty positive the pied-billed grebe was the smallest of those. Obviously, there were smaller finches and European starlings and stuff around, but this pied-billed grebe takes the winning spot for smallest bird on the water. So we're just walking along the lake here, and every kind of different color catches our eye a little bit, because if there's a duck with a little more white on it, it could be like a goldeneye or something. We did see a tan duck, which is really interesting. It's actually just a domestic mallard. It's not insanely rare or anything, but that coloration is one I've not personally ever seen before. You can tell that they're domestic mallards because obviously we have a bunch of normal mallards here with the normal green heads or like the mottled brown body, but these ones have a totally different coloration. There's one that's almost all gray, there's a completely tan one, there's one that's almost all black. They look like mallards, but they're often varying sizes and they have a bunch of different patterns, which is pretty cool. So these domestic mallards, like I said, aren't very rare, but it's kind of fun to try and see the varying patterns you can get of them. The most common one I see, and I did just see one here, I'm losing track of it now, they have just a white patch on the chest, but I don't see like a completely tan one like that very often, so kind of cool even if it's a common species overall to find the different plumages. Now, out of all the scaup we saw throughout the day, this one I believe has the best chance to be a greater scaup. The head has a green sheen to it, which means it's more likely to be greater, still could be lesser. The head is also sloping. I'm not sure about the bill though. The bill isn't as wide as I would expect, and the little black spot on the end of the bill, what's called the nail, I would have thought would have been wider on a greater scaup. So I just left this one as a slash on my checklist, but let me know what you think. But anyways, our walk and search for more ducks and species to add to our list on the day continued. The next species on the list that I came across was some American widgeon. There's only a couple of these, and this was the only group I saw throughout the day, whereas a lot of the other birds were scattered throughout the entirety of the lake. These were concentrated in one area, but still pretty cool. Another duck species down. My common goldeneye friends were back once again, probably different individuals, obviously. And then looking out at some more scaup out here again, most of these look like lesser scaup. There's also some ringneck ducks out there, but then I saw a bigger silhouette and some different colors that really jumped out to me. These were both canvasback, while the female and the male you're looking at now are both canvasback. One of our larger duck species I'm pretty positive that we have in Utah. And ducks just weren't in the water, they are also on the banks sleeping away. It was really sweet to get this close, just like a couple of feet away honestly, as we walked by these mallards, so you could really see some of that intricate detail in their plumages. So it's kind of fun just to pick through all the coot and Canada geese we end up coming across. I looked over across the way and I saw a more maroonish colored bird. We got some ruddy ducks, so try and get this one on camera here. Wow, he's got that bright blue bill right now. Such a pretty duck. So it's been a really nice walk here, just walking along the shore with my girlfriend and checking out all of the birds and stuff. These kind of developments just bring me so much joy because we are in the middle of what's kind of considered daybreak, and there's just tons of houses, businesses and stuff, but it's awesome that they set aside this pond and this whole lake for nature and recreation. It's just so cool to be able to live with all these houses here right alongside a great area that supports a lot of different bird species. Now, it's not perfect, don't get me wrong. It's definitely more geared towards waterfowl. I do wish all of this lawn and stuff they had here was a lot more native plants, and we could potentially support a bunch of songbirds too, and a ton of other species, but it's still better than a lot of what we usually do as people. And I really just hope to see more of this someday because bird species really are in decline, and environments and developments like this that bring nature to live right alongside people are going to be one of the keys to supporting birds growing forward if we just continue to expand like we are. Kind of funny they have these paintings around the area, and I definitely fell for this one on first glance. I thought we were going to see a sandpiper, and it's actually a killdeer, but definitely not real. I've got her starting to take pictures of birds too. That's right, I kitted out Alicia with my secondary camera on this walk, and she also got to take some pictures. She got some cool moments. This mallard actually, I believe, might have had avian flu or something with that huge lump on the side of its head. But it's funny to see what Alicia chose to focus on when she was taking pictures. She really thought these duck butts were hilarious on the dabbling duck species. She also was taking a lot more pictures of the mountain ranges and houses too. It's cool to see what other people focus on when they're given the gear and stuff to explore their own style of photography. And I don't know about you, but I think she did great with a lot of these photos. Now, one photo I was not pleased to see that she got was this outdoor cat. Please keep your cats inside. It helps them live longer and it helps the birds significantly. One of the bigger surprises towards the end of the day was this female merganser. Now, female mergansers can be very difficult to tell apart, and I struggle with it constantly still, especially when this one would just keep its head tucked down. But at points with some photos and stuff, I actually was able to see its eye color, and actually when it turned at one point I saw its neck too, and I was able to ID it as a common merganser. But I started recording some of the other species in the area too, especially since they were so close to me. Some looks at the bird we started the day with, the ringneck duck. A really cool redhead diving right in front of me. And then I was checking out a lot of these females too, just in case I was missing any potential greater scaup. But I actually do think these are female ringneck ducks. We had some mallards sleeping on the side, and I got a photo of one of them once it stood up after a while that I really liked a lot. I then was kind of confused watching this coot, wondering why he was swimming this way, but as the next clip will show you, after it dives, I believe he was just looking for food because they're munching away as they're swimming around looking in the water for something to pick at. Few more candidates here for greater scaup, still not seeing what I think would be one, though this female in the back does have a pretty wide bill, so it could be one, but I'm even less confident on a female. Not sure though, maybe one of you will have seen something that I didn't. But it was fun also to watch this common merganser come up from sleeping later in the day, and it was chewing on a fish while a gull was trying to steal it. It kind of fiercely dove and ran around protecting its catch. This coot, on the other hand, was lucky to be eating something that the gulls weren't interested in, so it could have it all by itself. And then these last two pictures weren't amazing or anything, I just thought it looked kind of funny, kind of like a dinosaur. Well, I'm going to end the video here on the ground in the grass as I've just been recording all of the ducks in front of me. Super fun little walk around Oquirrh Lake. I hope you enjoyed coming along in this birding adventure with me. It was a super fun one. I really enjoyed looking through all of these waterfowl. Thank you as always for watching though. I'll see you in the next one. Happy birding.